Will do. Welcome to Connecticut, where it was 75 degrees last week, snowing yesterday, and it's 20 degrees today, so I installed a heater. Because I haven't introduced it yet on the channel, this is my 2001 B5 Audi A4 1.8T Quattro with a 5-speed. This is the car that I'm going to be using to compete with John's 350Z. We're going to be doing grid life, time attack, and street class, hopefully. We'll be doing some HPDEs and some other stuff before we get there, but since I've gotten this car, I've done a few things to it. I got it from New Hampshire. It was a little bit crusty, especially in the rear. The front is mostly fine, like the front subframe's in good shape, the unibody's in good shape. There's no rust holes or anything anywhere. The rear subframe, I'll try to put a picture of it in here, was just ridiculous. It looked awful, and the rear suspension was not much better. So I went ahead and ripped out the rear subframe, found a new one on Facebook Marketplace for 50 bucks, refinished that, and put that back in the car, got the diff back in the car, got the drive shaft reconnected. And today, I want to clean up the suspension back there, get it back in the car, and get everything sort of squared away. I had to get new calipers too. But should be pretty fun. I did a lot of the work off camera because I didn't think I would want to record all of this, but I decided that it would be a fun thing for me to do. And I'll go over some of the stuff too that I've done to this, maybe in a different video, because I don't want to take away from the experience of me wire wheeling some suspension pieces for the next like 3 hours of my life. So I'll go ahead and show everybody what I've already done here. I did get new rear calipers. These are the old brackets because, of course, the eBay listing didn't tell me that it didn't come with brackets. It pictured the calipers and brackets, so I had to go dig these out of the dumpster, wire wheel them, and clean them up. But we'll get those on hopefully today as well. The main part of this, though, what I've done already, there was a decent amount of rust behind these shock mounts. I know I didn't clean these up. I'm going to probably just be replacing these upper arms later, so I didn't even bother. But these shock mounts are roughly $250 for a pair, so I wanted to make sure these were nice and clean. I got those all wire wheeled and painted, and they look great. And there was rust up behind here. I had the wheel well liners out too, if you saw the short that I made, and I cleaned up all that stuff. Down here, you can see I do have the 034 Motorsport rear subframe reinforcements in. You buy these because this section here where the the sway bar mounts, I guess these are prone to cracking, and you need this sort of reinforcement here to tie this point down here to the rest of the subframe so it doesn't shatter. So I went ahead and put that most of the way in. Those look really cool. You can see down here, I have, let me see if I can get a better angle. Sorry. You can see down here, I have the entire subframe. Like I said, when it was out of the car, I went ahead and wire wheeled and painted everything, so it looks pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. The only crusty bits here that we have left are like the fuel tank straps. This one's probably the worst one. And then where the axles, the rear axles go into the diff, I didn't feel like cleaning that up when I had it out of the car. It was too much work. I cleaned up a bunch of that stuff back there, but all that being said, that looks pretty good. I flared these with a hammer. If those leak, I'm not gonna be happy with my life because I don't want to have to take all that back out of the car. But anyway, what we're gonna go ahead and work on today are my these are the rear lower arms here, the knuckles, and the toe arms. I do want to clean all this stuff up. I do have the dust shield off. This is not going to go back on because I do have bigger brakes that I want to put on here eventually, and the dust shield would limit the diameter of the rotor that I can put on. But like I said, for now, all this stuff is just like ridiculously crusty, and I cannot, in good faith, put all of this back on the car with it being as nice as it is. So I'll go ahead and try to set up maybe a time lapse or something so you guys can just watch me clean that up. Should be fun. That's what I call a good enough method. All right, you can see for the most part here, I got it cleaned up pretty good. I was mostly worried about the knuckle that I did bother to clean up a lot more than I did like the lower control arm here, just because I didn't want to nick these brake lines. I don't have replacement ones, and these are going to be a pain in the ass to get out anyway, so I really don't want to have to deal with that right now. But I'm just going to slap some Rust-Oleum rust reformer on this whole thing. They didn't have it, I don't know why, but John and I have realized recently that all of the automotive rust reformer from Rust-Oleum, the brush-on kind, which is what I wanted to use here, and the spray kind are out of stock everywhere for some reason. So I'm just using the normal one, and hopefully there's not too much of a chemical difference between the two, and it'll still work. Okay, that is what I painted the rest of this stuff with, so it's not like it's going to be a detrimental thing for me. But anyway, yeah, so I cleaned this up. I stuffed a paper towel in here just so I don't get spray paint absolutely everywhere, and should turn out pretty nice. I still got to do the other one, but let's get this painted. All right, I got one good layer of paint on this side here. I'm gonna have to do this in sides because I'm gonna have to wait for this whole thing to dry and then flip it all over so I can do the rest of the stuff that I couldn't see here. But for those of you that are insulting my painting skills, just know I work with this rust reformer spray a lot, and I found that the best way that this works is just to ignore every single instruction on the can and every instinct that you've ever had to paint anything, and just glob as much of it on there as you physically can, and it'll dry pretty quickly. So yeah, I'll wait for this to dry, get the other side painted, and then I can work on getting that in the car and then restoring that side over there. As I'm waiting for all this stuff to dry, I just wanted to take a second to thank all of you guys for watching this video. All probably, let's be honest, 40 of you, but it means a lot to me that you guys would watch me doing some random crap to my car, and I actually think recording these videos is kind of fun. Plus it's nice for me just to have the memories of being able to look back and go, oh, hey, I remember doing that to my car. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'd appreciate it if you would leave a like and subscribe if you'd like. We do try to upload videos like these as much as physically possible. Got this all cleaned up. Got all that blown out. I'm gonna shove a paper towel in there, and I don't know what happened to my 2 pieces of glove that I had covering my brake lines. Figured it. I feel like Restore It Junior, except much less meticulous. Alright, so the passenger side suspension is now restored and all set, while the suspension for the driver's side is still drying. I want to go ahead and get that whole thing in here, which is going to be interesting, but I'll see how I'm going to be able to do this by myself. It's just going to probably be a little interesting because of the weight of that knuckle and having absolutely nothing holding it in. Plus, I want to try not to absolutely obliterate the paint on my subframe, so this will be fun. Yep, this is gonna be a shitty camera angle for sure. Yeah, that sucked. All right. As you can see, I did actually get it all in, except for that. We're gonna ignore that for right now. But the rest of this stuff is in. That is just the passenger side. That is complete. The driver's side is still here on the table. I'm gonna probably go ahead and put that in without recording it because, wow, that was terrible. But anyway, I think all this was probably worth it in the end. If you guys are still here, thank you very much for watching, and I will try to upload again soon. I would appreciate it if you went ahead and liked the video, especially if you did watch it this far through. And again, thank you. Have a good rest of your day.